prepared with the topic that I gave you for the discussion, right? And I think you have also prepared 2-3 slides for the topic at least. Okay. So Raju will monitor the whole session. Raju, can we start now?
Sure, sir. Okay.
Okay, Raju, please start the session. Right. Okay, Raju, I'm handing over the session to you. Please start it.
Okay, sir. So as per the rules, now MSc IT roll number 1 should start. Okay. Shubham, MSc IT roll number 1. Is he there? Oh, I can't see the participants. Roll number 2, MSc IT roll number 2.
Yes, present.
Okay, you can start your presentation.
Good morning, everyone. Today our discussion topic is APRI-GOAT algorithm. First, we know what is APRI-GOAT algorithm. APRI-GOAT algorithm for discovering frequent item set in a transaction database. It was proposed by N et al. In 2000. It is a very fast and memory efficient algorithm. It uses a special internal structure called FPT. Next, we go to FP3. FP3 means frequent pattern tree. It is a tree-like structure that is made with the initial item set of the database. Here, each node of the FPT represents an item set of the item set. Next, go to the next slide. FP algorithm steps. In first step, we can scan the database to find the occurrence of the item set in the database. The count of the first item set in the database is called support count. Next, we go to the second step. The second step is to construct the FP tree.
Just hold
this,
on. Divya,
yes.
is my screen visible?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay, you can continue.
Okay, go to FP algorithm step. The screen is not visible right now. Okay. Next, we go to the second step. The second step is construct the FP tree. For this, create the root of the tree. The root is represented by null. The third step is to scan the database again, examine the transaction. Examine the first transaction and next go to find out the item set in it. The item set with max count is taken first of the top, and the next item set is lower count as soon as so on. The fourth one is transaction in the database examined. The item set are ordered in this descending order of the count. If the item set is already present in the another branch, then this transaction branch would share a common prefix to the root. The fifth stage is to count of the item set in increment as it occur in the transaction. In here, both common node and new node count increase by 1 and link according to the transaction. Last six step is to mine the FPT, mine and create the FPT. For this, the lower node is examined first along with the link of the lowest node. In seventh step, construct a conditional FP tree, which is formed by a count of item set in the path. The last step is frequent pattern are generated from the conditional FPT. Next, we go to the advantage and disadvantage slide. FPT, FP growth algorithm advantage is the database is stored in a compact version in memory, and next prepare of the item is not done in this algorithm, and this make it faster. The main disadvantage of FP growth algorithm is it is expensive, and when the database is large, the algorithm may not be fixed in shared memory. Thank you.
Okay, after roll number 2, roll number 3, who is roll number 3? MSCIT. Do I need to open the attendance sheet again? Who is roll number 3? MSCIT. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Ditiman.
Okay, response to that. Who Ditiman, is he here in the meeting? Ditiman? Okay, your voice is not audible. Sachin is Sachin? Sachin? Gopal? I guess Gopal is also not there, right?
Yes.
Okay, then we can start from the integrated MSCIT. Roll number 2, Yumit. Yumit? Are you there, Yumit? Okay, Yumit is not there. Then Abdul, you can start.
Yes. Can you see my screen? Hello, Raju.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Hello, my name is Abdul, and I am going to explain about FP growth algorithm. First of all, why you need FP growth algorithm? We need FP growth algorithm for associated rule mining, and in associated rule mining, we can use we have two processes, means finding all frequent item, then generating strong key association rule. For finding frequent item, we can use Aprior method or FP growth algorithm. The disadvantage of Aprior method is that Aprior method means if there are no frequent item in the data set, then it is very difficult to find out the all the frequent data set using Aprior method. But FP growth algorithm is used to find the frequent item in the data set. So then what is FP growth algorithm? FP growth algorithm basically construct FP tree. Then we will convert the FP tree into conditional database. That is a special kind of database projection. Okay, so I'll going to discuss about how we can create FP tree and then how to construct conditional database. So let's get this started. This is the main database table known as transaction. We can call it transaction table. First column is the transaction ID, and the second column is list of the item. Okay, we can see that T100 transaction 100. We have list item as I1, I1, I2, I3, I5. Okay, and and so on. And the minimum support count uh, means a transaction should have at least two transaction list, two transaction item. Then we have to convert this table into item set or support count. Okay, item set means for item set I1, I2, I3, I4, and I5. Right? We have here we have I1 red, I2, I3, I4, and I5. The support count means how many times I1 has occurred. Means here I1, right, 6. We can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and I2 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6 time has come. Okay, and so on. We'll construct this table. Then we have to write the support count in descending order. Means if see descending order means 7, 6, 6, 2, 2. Right? 7 I2 has occurred 7. I2 has occurred 7 time. I1 has occurred 6 time, and I3 has occurred 6 time, and so on. Right? Mm. This is very important step because we will going to create our AP tree using this item set and support count table. Okay, so first let's take the T100 I2 I2 sorry I1 I2 and I5, right? But in support count, in ascending support count table, we have I2 first, then I1 first, I3 first, I4 first, I5 first, right? So first transaction, I2, I1, we will write in ascending order, right? Means in descending order, means I2 will come first, then I1 will come first, then I5. For constructing AP tree, we will take root node, means we will take as null or we can take as root. Then we have to construct a node. If there is no node, we will construct a new node in the left hand side. Okay, left hand side. So first I2 and initial count is 1. We will take its initial count as 1. Next, from I2 we can go to I1, right? So initial count is I1. Next I1 to I5, right? And next step is next transaction we have T200. T200 is I2 and I4, right? In the table we have I2 and I5, right? So I2 and I4, right? I2 and I4, they are in the ascending, they are already in the descending order, so we do not have to fix them. Now we see that I2 first, we already have I2, right? From null we have I2, so we will increase the count. Initial count means I2 will increase to I2 count. But here we have I1, but we do not have I4, so we will construct a node. Okay, we can create either this side or either this. We can create either left hand side or right hand side. So I4 initial count will be 1. Next we have T300, I2 comma I3, right? I2 comma I3, they are already in maybe ascending order, so we do not have to arrange them. Next means we already have I2, right? So we'll increase the initial count of I2 as 3, and if there is, as you can see that there is no node going to I3 directly, so we'll create another node I3 as 1, and the initial count will be 1. Next we have I2, I1 and I4, right? Means transaction T4 300 400 I1 I2 and I4, but in ascending order when in ascending order table we have I2 first, I1 second, and I4, right? Means I2 I1 and I4, right? I2 I1 and I4, right? So we'll increase the count as I2 as 4, because we already have initial node as, means we have node as I2 as 4, and then we will construct we want to go to I4, right? I2 to I1. Then we already have I2 I1. Then we will increase the initial count as 2. Then is there any means I4 is there, no, right? So we'll construct I4 with new node I4 1, and the initial count will be 1. Next we have I3, I1 to I3. They are already in, but here we do not have I1 directly, right? Means from none node we do not have I1, but we have I2. So we'll create another node from in the right hand side. Okay, right hand side means I3, and the initial count I1 initial count will be 1, and I3 initial count will be 1. Okay, because we have created in the right hand side, because we do not have the I1 node from the null node. Yeah, if we have I1 node here, but we cannot go directly, right? So we will create a new node. That's why we created new node. Next, we have I2 and I3, right? So we have already have I2 node. From null node to I2, we'll go to I2. Then we'll increase the count as I2 as 5. Then we already have I1, right? Sorry, I3. I3 will increase the node to I3 to 2. Next, we have I1, I3, right? So we already have I1, right? From null node, we go to I2 and increase the count, and I2 from I1 to I2 to increase the count. And we have next, we have I2, I1, I3 and I5, right? To I3 means from null node we'll go to I2 and increase the count as 6. Then from I2 to I1, right, we'll increase the count to 3. Then we have I1 to I3, we'll increase the count as 1. Okay, next we have we do not have means sorry, from I1 to I3 we do not have any node, so that's why we created a node. Then we'll take the initial count as 1. Next we create a new node I5. We'll make the initial count as 1. Next we have I2, I1 and I3. So we already have I1, I2, right? So we'll increase the initial count as 7, and I4 we'll go to I1 and increase the initial count as 4. Then we will have to go to I3. We'll increase the initial count as 2, right? But remember that I3 is here also, but we have to go here. Okay, we can go this side also, I3, no problem. So see, I2 has I2 has 7 count, and I2 has 7 count, and then I3, remember I3 1, I3 2 plus 2 plus 2 6, right? So in the table we already have in the table we can see the I2 7 and I1 6, right? And I3 6. So I2 we have I2 has 7, and then I3 6, right? I2 also 6. 2 I1 also 6, right? Okay, next uh, we'll link the table with the database table. So for this we simply link node link, just simply I1, right? I1 we can go to I1 from right? I2 next here we will just simply link using I1. We will go to I1 from I1 to I1, right? Here, then in the conditional database table we will take I5 first. The minimum support count will be first, means I5 will come first, then I4 I3 means 2 to 6 6, right? That's why I'm taking as I5. Now from I2, as you can see, we have to traverse I5. We have to go to from null node, we have go to I5, right? So where is I5? Right here, I5, right? I5, one I5 and one I5, right? And yeah, okay, one I5. So from I2 to we are going to I1, then we are going to I5, right? I2, I1, I5, right? Simply I2, I1, and thus we will write the I5 count. That is 1. That is 1, right? Next, next we have to go to I5, right? Sorry, here, right? Then we have to go to I2, then I1, then I3, then 1, right? Means the here I2, I1, I3, 1, right? Then we have to construct conditional, we have to see the I2 has here is I2, right? I2 has 1 and 1, right? We have we have combined them, that is I2 4, and I1 as I1 1, I1 here 1, right? So 2. But remember, I3 has 1 but no value there, so we have taken we do not have to take I3 because the minimum support count we have taken as 2, so that's why I3 will not come. Now we have to join with the to join with I5, means I2 I5 and 2, right? Next we have I1 I5 2, means we have to just join I2 I2 I1, sorry, I2 I5 and the count means tier 2. Then we have I1 I5 and 2, right? Then we can join with both, means I2 I1 and I5, right? Here we have taken as 2 because the I2 has count 2, I1 has count 2, so we has taken 2. But remember, if I2 has count as 4 and I1 has count as 2, so we will take the minimum one, that is we will take the 2. Okay, next we have I4. We have to traverse to I4. Where is I4? Here, one I4, right? One I4, right? Here also one I4, right? Okay, three I4 are there. So first we'll go to I2, then we can get I4, right? Then I2, then I2 to I1, means that I2 to I1 directly 4, we are getting 4, right? So remember, I2 means that is 2, right? And I1 has only only one occurrence, so we will not take this, and then we will simply join I2 to I4, I2 to I4, means that is the support count is 2. Next we have I3. Next we have I3. We have to traverse to I3, but remember here I3 has come in two different, for left hand side also there and right hand side also there. So this is little bit different. I2 will traverse to I2 I3, then we have to traverse to I3, right? Here one I3, here one I3, and here one I3. So I2 I4 I1 and I3, right? So we'll write I2 I1 and 2. Next we have I2, right? Directly we can go to I3, so we'll write I directly. Then we have in the right hand side we have I1 and I3, means from none node we have to go to I1 then I3, right? mm, we'll just I2 has 2 and I2 has 2, that's why we write in a 4. I2 1, I2 uh, sorry, I do 2, right? Next here we are not joining, we are not combining I1 as 4 because they are in the different different nodes, means one is right, one is in the right hand side and one is the left hand side, so that's why we do not combine them here. But here while joining means I2 means I2 first come, then we have to go to I3 joining, then we will write 4, right? But here we'll join them, means I will join I1 right? We'll combine them here in the frequent pattern generator, means it will be 4. Next we simply I2 I1 I3, right? We have to go to I2 I1 I3, that is 2. Here the minimum count, both the I2 has 4, here I2 has 4 and I1 has 2, right? So we have take the minimum, means that 2. And the last one is we have to go to I1, that is I1, where is I1? uh, Here I1, right? And here also I1 is also there, but we do not take this because we take only the intermediate node, right? But in the right hand side we do not have any intermediate node, means there is no node in between them, so we do not take I2 left hand side, right hand side I2, but we'll go to I4, I1 in the left hand side, means first we have to go to I2, then I4 will get I4. Remember, but here we do not, in the left hand side, in the right hand side, we do not see that there is no in between node for I2, I1. That's why we do not have taken I2 4, right? Means we have to go to I2 and the I1 support count is 4. That's why we have written. Just simply write this and we'll join I2, I1 and the support count is 4, right? So as we can see that using this table we are getting the frequent pattern generator for the above table we have created. uh, Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Abdul. So after Abdul, it is Vivek. Vivek.
Sorry, I didn't understood the algorithm, so I'm skipping for now.
Trideep. Amlan. Amrin. Suman. Is no one here in the meeting or what? Hello. Subham Borman. Shivam. Shankar. Ripunjay.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
Hold on, I'm sharing this thing. Is it visible?
no. Screen is coming, but my it is not coming. So my name is Ripunjay Bodle, and I am from Integrated MSc 9th semester. Today I am going to discuss about the frequent pattern growth algorithm. Before we know about the frequent pattern growth algorithm, we should know about the a priori algorithm. So first we discuss about the a priori algorithm. A priori algorithm is an algorithm for frequent pattern mining that focuses on generating item sets and discovering the most frequent item set. It is greatly reduced the size of the item set in the database. However, a priori has its own shortcoming as well as shortcoming of a priori algorithm. Using a priori needs a generation of candidate item sets. These item sets may be large in number if the item set in the database is huge. A priori needs multiple scan of database to check the support of each item set generated, and this leads to high cost. Now we coming to the topic of frequent pattern growth algorithm. So what is frequent pattern growth algorithm? Frequent pattern, this algorithm is an improvement to the a priori method. A frequent pattern is generated without the need for candidate generation. Frequent pattern growth algorithm represents the database in the form of a tree called frequent pattern tree or FP tree. This tree structure will maintain the association between the item sets. The database is fragmented using one frequent item. This fragmented part is called a frequent pattern tree of FP tree. The tree structure will maintain the association between the item set. The database is fragmented using one frequent item set. This fragmented part is called pattern fragment. The item sets of this fragmented pattern are analyzed. Thus, with this method, the search of frequent item sets is reduced comparatively. So, what is frequent pattern T? Frequent pattern T is tree-like structure that is made with the initial item sets of the database. The purpose of FP tree is to mine the most frequent pattern is node of the frequent FPT represents an item of the item set. The root node represents the null, while the lower node represents the item sets. the association of the nodes with the lower node, that is the item sets with the other item sets, are maintained while forming the tree. Thank you.
Thanks, Ripunjay. So next is Ripjyoti Hajarika. Ripjyoti, are you there? Hello. Okay, let me see the attendance. Ripjyoti. Okay. Okay, Ankur Bora. If Ripjyoti is not there, Ankur. Hello. Who is this? I can't see your name.
Hello, Raju.
Okay, Didiman.
Okay. Am I audible now?
Yes.
Can I present now?
Okay. You can present.
Okay, is my screen visible to you?
Hold on, it's coming, I guess.
Okay, is it now visible to everyone?
No, it's not.
Alright.
I guess your network is slow. I guess your net is slow. It's coming black.
Okay, let me try one more time.
What?
Okay, now I'm trying to share it again.
Okay.
Is it visible now?
It's not coming up.
Okay. So can I just continue like this?
How many slides do you have? You can send me the slides.
I have 4 to 5 slides.
4 to 5 slides. You just send me the PPT file in the WhatsApp.
Okay. Then I will present at the last.
Okay, we have around 17 minutes. Okay, so
Okay.
let me. Okay, after this, you send me the PPT. I will be copying it to my desktop. After that, you can do it. Okay.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. Ankur Bora. Okay. If no one is there, so I will be starting it. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yes, it's visible.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Good morning to one and all present here. My name is Raju Moni Bora, and I am from Integrated MSc 9SEM. So I will be discussing about the FP growth algorithm. So let's start. Basically, what is FP growth algorithm? Okay. Before discussing what is FP growth algorithm, the full form of the FP growth is frequent pattern. Okay. So before starting, what is we should discuss what basically is a pattern. A pattern in a data is that correlated between the data that you have some correlated relationship between them. Okay, so suppose you have some data and after tuning them, increasing one value from increasing a value that will affect the other value is some that have some relation or correlation, we can say it like that. So we will be discussing about that. So basically it is an algorithm for frequent item set to discover in the database. Okay, so it uses a FP tree to discover the patterns in our data set. So it is used for why it is used. It is used for analytical process to find a particular pattern in our data or data sets. So the steps are as follows, that are deduce the order of the frequent. First we iterate, first we see what are the items, what are the support factors, and then after that we construct a FP tree, and then after that we construct a FP conditional tree from the FP tree that we have generated. And at last, after doing all that process, we determine the frequent pattern from the above process we have done. So I will be telling you how this process is done. So first, that suppose we have a transaction, we have T1, T2, T3, and T4. So I've taken a small example. Okay, so suppose T1 has some set of instructions A, B, C. You can say these are items. Suppose you are going to a shopping mall and you are buying some items in that particular area. Suppose A is your apple, B is your mango, like that. Okay. So in transaction one, we have some sets of items, and and similarly in T2 and T3 and T4, we have some transactions, or we can say we have some items that need to be processed. So say suppose our support minimum support is 2. Okay. So as you can see here, what is the occurrence of A in our whole this transactions. So A is repeated 4 times, and then as I have put A is put as 4. Then again, if we see in our transactions, the B is repeated 3 times. So I have written like that 3, and for all those above items, I have put the support as like this: the occurrence of the each item in our transactions. So we need to create a tree for that. Before that, we need to order the item this table in the descending order of the support. So as we can see, A has and we have to remove the item that is not that doesn't categorize in our this item table. As we can see, we have only support minimum support is 2. So we need to remove this 1 from the item table. So after determining and after arranging the items in this support table, we can go to the next step, that is to construct a FP tree. So in the FP tree, we need to this is the transaction that are after excluded. Okay, so you can see here there is no presence of the item in here. As you can see, after this we need to create the FP table, FPT table, that is like this. First, on the first transaction, I have shown that you can see in the first transaction. Okay, let me okay, you can see this, right? In the transaction T1, we have A, B, and C. So in the first transaction, I am putting as this is the root we consider. After that, A is occurred 1 time. After that, B is occurred 2nd time. Okay, then followed by C. This is for the first transaction. So if we can see in the second transaction, A, B, C, and E. So in the next diagram, we can see that it is same. The occurrence is almost same. A, B, and C. A is occurred 2nd time, because in the transaction 1 we have write 1 time A, B, C. So they have all 1 occurrence already. So after doing that, in the transaction P2 they will occur again. So I put the number in the right side, that is A occur 2 times, B occur 2 times, and C 2 times. And in the transaction T2 we got E, that is done after C. So I put this number again here. If we can see this again in the third transaction, the A, B, E, and F is occurred. So I need to put that again in our chart, that is like this. So A had occurred 3 times, because in the transaction now we need to follow the pattern is A, B, E, and F. So I need to create another node that is coming up from this tree. Okay, from B. So E already occurred. In this branch, E has occurred only 1 time. So I am writing here 1. If it have come here, then I have to write it 2 times, followed or 3, Okay. So after E, we have another pattern that is F1. F has occurred one time. It is telling the occurrence of that. In the last transaction, we can see that we have a transaction T4. We have items A, C, and F. So we don't have any other further nodes that are connected. ACF is connected. So what we need to do is we need to create again after root node. We have a direct connected node that is A. Okay. So after this, we need to create another two nodes that are connected by this followed by same items, that is C1. C has A, C, and F in the transaction. So this will be our FP tree that will be after this. We need to create a FP conditional. So the concept of the FP conditional was not understood by me. So so I will be closing the section here. So thank you. That's all. Okay. Who is next? Rajiv Loshan, are you there? Rajiv? Okay, I guess he's not here. Rajiv, okay. Bandhan? Purobi? Pritish Maya?
Hello.
Bandhan, yeah.
Hello, Raju.
Bandhan. Yes.
It is visible?
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay. So this topic is FP growth algorithm. The algorithm means the complete set of frequent itself without candidate genes. So first compress the database representing frequent item into a frequent pattern tree or FP tree, which return the item set, associate information. Then divide the compressed database into a set of conditional database is associated with one frequent item or pattern fragment. Or mine is search DB separately. So begin with the construct the FP tree to extract a frequent item. To extract a frequent item set from FP3s, here we have two things. One is transaction table and the minimum amount. A transaction table is a set of items. It is set of items, so we set represent different items grouped together. And the minimum support comes it for any items which is having the support greater than or equal to then we will consider it as a dependent. So their first thing is that step one. First is the step one of FP growth algorithm. For each transaction, we have extract the distinct element. So if you can see A, B, C, D, E are only the distinct element out of all this transaction. So this distinct item that we have. For moving next slide. Yeah. This. Once we find the distinct item, we'll count how many times we'll count how many times each of these items have been seen in this transaction. First item, if we consider A has been seen 8 times, B seen 7, C seen 6 times, D 5 times, E 3 times. Once you open the transaction table, what had to do is according to counter is the highest number. Here we see A can be seen more number times compared to B, and B can be more number times compared to, and so on. Depending to this, we have rearranged the item of the transaction. As you can see here. So here we rearrange the item. So B is lesser frequency compared to A. So we will rearrange the item as AB and Likewise, same things is applied to every other transaction from the transaction table. So one you rearrange this is the original set. I can't. Yeah, set transaction and this rearrange set transactions. So it will have null node. Yeah, node. And as you can see, this is null node. And we will scan through each and every transaction frequently where you see A count 1 and B count 1. So A and B 1 after transaction ID 1. So the next is BCD. BCD. Likewise, transaction 1, we have one more transaction here. You can see the reusing the node A because the third transaction is A, C, D, E has been already seen in transaction 1. We had seen A, B already. That is why A both are common. Yes, so I will reuse this node to grow a tree from this point. Here the count of A become 2 and remaining count is same. Likewise, we will scan A, D, E and A count become 3. Count become 3 and DE count become 1, 1. So we again scan A, B, C, D. A, B, C, sorry. Yeah. A, B, C. Next, we will scan A, B, C, D. And likewise, scan things I apply to transaction ID up to 10. Up to 10. So that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Bandhan. So I guess the time is up. We have almost 2 minutes. After Bandhan, it's Purobi, Preeti. I guess Vishal is not here. Vishwajit.
Sorry to interrupt, Raju.
Yes, sir.
I think within 2 minutes, no one can complete his or her discussion.
Yes, sir.
So it would be better if we continue this in the next session, right?
Yes, sir.
But today you guys presented very well, and Raju, I have especially gone through your run very nice. Okay.
Yes,
So thank you all of you, and I hope you have noted down who have presented. Yes, Raju.
Yes, sir. I have. Okay. In today's presentation, Divya Jyoti has presented, Abdul, then Bandhan, and at last me, Raju. So, sir, only 4 participants. Okay, Ripunjay got left. Yes.
Yes.
Sorry. Oh, I wrote it in here. Okay. Sorry.
No problem. Okay. So the next, I think topic should be kept same or there should be a different topic. Raju, what's your opinion?
Sir, I can. I think we can continue with this topic only.
Okay, that's.
Yes, sir. Actually, presentation is already we made.
Okay, no problem. So in the next session, we'll continue the same topic. Okay, but you guys please prepare with that because this time we are skipping the roll numbers. Now this should not happen in the next session. Okay, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much to all of you. Thank you, Raju. Okay, we'll meet in
Welcome.
the next session.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.